And good morning, Bulldog fans, and welcome to Coffee with Coach. We're in the lobby of First Bank and Trust East Texas, and you just heard a good crowd on hand, and that's the way it's been each Friday since the season started. And we invite you to come and have breakfast with us either before we get started or after the show. The doors open at 7 a.m. Good morning, Coach Morgan and Coach Bavara. Good to have you all along here this morning.
Good morning.
All right, Coach Morgan, it's always tough to talk about a game you felt you could have won but didn't.
It is. You can take several learning points from that game. We felt like we got better in all three phases, special teams, offensively and defensively. And, it comes down to a handful of plays, and we didn't make them. So we've got to make plays to be a great team, and that's what we've talked about all week, is challenging the kids and stepping up and making a play.
All right, Coach, I've seen this happen. The Dogs have a great week of practice, but for some reason don't quite bring it to the game. Well,
we've got to learn to finish. That's the bottom line. We've got to learn to play four quarters and, again, get back to what I said earlier, make a play. And we're excited about where we're at. We are getting better every week, and we're ready to hit our stride running.
All right, Coach, for the second week in a row, the Dogs face one of the toughest running backs they may face all year.
Toughest running back, but also a tough offensive line. You know, Orangefield does a really good job.
Well, I was talking Silsby.
Okay, you're talking about Silsby.
Yeah, the game last week.
Well, they had kind of a dual threat. Their tailback and their quarterback did a really good job last week, and they ran the ball well. And it comes back to tackling fundamentals. We were in position to make some plays, and didn't. We've just we've got to make some plays.
Coach, I know that there's a lot of work to do before the playoffs, but the possibility exists that we could meet up with the Silsby Tigers in the playoffs.
You know, that is a possibility, and it's one we'd like to line up and try to do it again. So.
All right, Coach, for the second week in a row, we run up against an offense that is referred to as the Pistol, the Silsby Tigers. Describe that offense and why it's become so popular all of a sudden.
Well, it's great for your play action schemes. When you can put the quarterback in a gun, especially an athletic kid like they have, and you can run all of your inside and outside running game out of it, and also it sets up really nice for your play action.
All right, Coach, for the second time this year, the Dogs start the game with a kickoff return for a TD, and then later on we almost do it again.
Again, our kickoff return unit has been special this year. The kids have really studied film and really stayed on their blocks, and they do a good job of game planning. And we've got some explosive kids back there that can return the ball. So.
All right, and for some reason, Coach Morgan, Bulldog receivers dropped a lot of catchable balls, and that's why coaches get premature gray hair.
No doubt. You know, those guys have worked hard all week in practice, and again, you can't single-handedly. That game didn't, not one person cost us that game, or not two people cost us that game. I think there's a handful of plays that cost us the game, but we've got to step up and make plays.
Okay, it's time to take a break. You're listening to Coffee with Coach on KJAS each Friday morning from First Bank and Trust East Texas, starting at 7:30, and you're invited to come and be with us, have some breakfast, coffee, orange juice, and enjoy being with other Bulldog fans. And we'll talk about the Orangefield Bobcats after this break on KJAS. All right, we're in the lobby of First Bank and Trust East Texas for Coffee with Coach and Coach Morgan. We wrap up non-district play tonight. Then next week is the start of district at home against Center. And I know that it's important to play well and to win to get ready for the start of district.
Absolutely. Tonight we've got to improve in all three phases of the game, and we've challenged our kids this week to finish and learn how to finish and learn how to fight and make plays. The fundamentals of the game: catching the ball, throwing the ball, blocking, tackling, and so we're gonna come out tonight and get after it.
All right, let's get a scouting report on the Bobcats.
I'll let Coach Favara talk to you a little bit about their defense. But Orangefield offensively, if you remember from last year, they're very similar. They do a really, really good job of a wing T style offense. Their offensive line goes extremely hard. They block until the whistle blows. They're a little bit undersized, but their effort is unbelievable. They've got some really good backs that run hard. With great balance and good vision, make things happen. They don't make a whole lot of mistakes, so when you watch them. So we've got to get them off the field early. We've got to create some turnovers and some 3-and-outs and get our offense the ball. Special team-wise, their kicker doesn't kick the ball real deep, but he kicks it extremely high. And so he places it all over the field. So we've got to do a really good job of communicating and getting the football back to our offense in good field position. And so offensively, they're a really good football team. It's going to be a smash mouth game. And special teams wise, we got to communicate and make sure we take care of the football.
Defensively, they're going to be in a 3-4 defense. They do a good job of flying to the football. You know, they're good with their hands, and they get off blocks, and they just swarm to the ball. There's never one guy towards the football. There's always 4, 5, 6 guys. They're big. They're physical. Their linebackers get downhill. We got to go do a good job tonight of identifying defenses and getting to our assignments and finish and engage in blocks. And but their kids, man, it was one thing all of our coaching staff notices that they just play hard. They play hard, so tonight's going to pose a challenge for us tonight.
All right, and you're going to bring your mosquito stuff, Coach? Because
I've heard about the mosquitoes in Orangefield. Everybody's kind of told me about them, but I'm going to, I guess, experience them for the first time tonight.
Well, let's hope maybe they'll be out in the boondocks somewhere. All right, thanks, Coach Morgan, Coach Bavara. All right, crowd, any questions, any comments of any kind? I'm sorry. I didn't put that in here.
It's okay. Yeah, last night's scores, our 7th grade white won 20-0. Our 7th grade red won 36-14. Our 8th grade team, they didn't have a B team, so we combined, and we won 16-6. Our 9th grade team, same thing. They didn't have a JV, so they combined all their sub-varsity teams into one group, and we played them with our freshman group and won that one 18-13. And then Bridge City came and we played their JV and we won 20-6. So,
right, and that freshman game had a great come from behind win. There was just a few seconds left on the clock when they threw about a 30-yard pass to
Kane Eckert threw a strike to Chris Spikes.
Right.
Towards the end of the game, and both of those young men show a lot of promise and a lot of talent.
Right. Chris Spikes had a kind of a tough night the first 3 quarters, but he made up for it on that one because that was a tough catch. And took it in for a touchdown, and Jasper won that one in a come-from-behind fashion. Great for them. All right, anybody else? All right, thank you for being here. And to the fans and businesses in Jasper, let's show some spirit. Put up some signs in your windows and on your marquees. Let's show the Center Rough Riders they're in for a tough night in Jasper next Friday night as we start district play here at the Doghouse. And it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's homecoming too next Friday night, Coach.
It is homecoming.
And thanks to the fans here in the lobby, and thanks to you for listening on KJAS. Thanks to Eddie Hopkins, president of First Bank and Trust East Texas, for hosting Coffee with the Coach. And our engineer here at the bank is Michael Love. At the KJAS studios, Mike Lout. I'm Art Lay. Sick 'em Bulldogs.